Here we go. 1 woman, 7 men, $0 in 401k savings. Let's do it! We're suddenly in Seattle, and Jenn is walking down a road under a bridge that looks like it should be in an episode of Law and Order SVU. Why would they put her here? There's got to be a better place for her to walk as slow as possible. They're like, no. Go down the scary road. Yeah, Heroin Way. It's no. It sounds worse than it is. I cannot imagine how much this would annoy me if I was ever startled by the Bachelor dudes yelling the name of the woman they're dating. Like, I get angry when I hear an ambulance siren in New York City. I'm like, oh, can you die somewhere else? Never mind 7 men dating 1 woman, screaming her name, but they don't even really know her middle name. Jeremy is wearing the most ridiculous coat I have ever seen. It has a pocket for his pocket protector. It looks like he went to Bloomingdale's and killed a bear and then turned it into a jacket that's too big for him. This is gratuitous. So Charity is here, former Bachelorette, to help Jenn on her journey. I'll never understand. Hey, let's get advice on the most important decision I'll ever make from someone I met 15 minutes ago. Let's hear what she has to say about who I should marry. I said, Jeremy, booby, I'm a winter coat. This is a little too soon for me. I know I'm comfy cozy, but I'm also unfuckable. This is a coat you show your girlfriend after 2 months of dating you and she's stuck. But here I am. This is like the 15th hotel they've stayed in. They still react like Kevin McAllister at the Plaza. Like, who looks at this and is excited? Oh, cool. Radios we'll never use. We could look at these. They could be in the way of where we'd put stuff. So the one-on-one goes to Marcus. This will be his second one-on-one of the show. And he's ready. Look at Spencer. Spencer looks like the type of guy who calls his mom to ask her what he should wear for work the next day. Like, he looks like he's like, oh, I hope I wore the right jacket with the right pants. She's gonna kill me when she watches this. So the box contained a green varsity jacket that definitely looks about a size smallish on him. Like, if I were him, I'd be like, can I see the XL? Just to see what it looks like. He's going to wear this like I wear every single one of my suit jackets, just full of rationalizations. Like, yeah, I'll just leave it open the whole day. I won't button it. I'll wear a thin shirt underneath it. That'll help, I hope, and I won't bend over or make any sudden moves. Yeah, I'll be fine at Rosh Hashanah. So here's Jenn for the one-on-one, and she goes and looks into that telescope over there. Everyone who's ever tried to look in those telescopes knows that you have to pay or else you can't see anything. So she's just looking into darkness right now, and if I'm her, I'm going to play this off like that didn't happen. She's just like walking away. She's like, okay, just walk away. Let's act like that was a totally worthwhile experience to touch a telescope that has been touched by every homeless person in Seattle. So we find out. So much fun to celebrate the new movie Wicked. That's what you thought, Jesse? Jesse's never on the show, and now we got a sponsored content date brought to you by Wicked, coming to theaters this fall from the Walt Disney Corporation. He's all jazzed up. He's like, you know what I was thinking? It's the Emerald City, and I'm being paid millions of dollars to do very little. And my bosses are here from the Disney Corporation. So why don't we have a date sponsored by Wicked coming out this fall? So Jesse drops this curtain, and now here's Wicked Way, sponsored by Disney. And here's Kelsey, who won Joey's season. And then Daisy is back. You might remember her from her music video, which I'll show on the next slide, as well as her ability to bring up her cochlear implant at any opportunity. Where there's a prospective follower, she will find a way to bring up the cochlear implant. I said, suck my nuts now. That ain't no fossil or bitches.
so bust out. I feel alright.
So here's Kelsey and Daisy. Kelsey explains that they've put together a whole thing brought to you by Wicked coming out this fall. Daisy's like, hold on, sorry, couldn't hear that whole spiel. Let me turn on the cochlear implant. You can hear more about that on TikTok by following me at daisycochlearimplant.com. And then she goes on to explain that they're going to like go down the yellow brick road. So they have to choose which box they're going to go with together on this journey. They choose spicy because, of course, he's like, maybe I'll get blown. Oh, no, it's just peppers. This would be a bad thing for me. I'd be like, okay, I hope the next station we can decide on which toilet to go to because I'm about to need one. This one was to be playful, and now they're on a bunch of pillows making out. Like, there's people here just trying to enjoy the city of Seattle. They're like, oh yeah, that's a couple that are doing some dry humping. Don't worry about them. The pillows, totally clean. I can't believe they're going to clean up these pillows while there's like a massive homeless situation in Seattle. They're like, yeah, no. Throw them back in the truck. No one needs them here. So now they have to choose between slow and fast. And he's like, well, what do you mean? Like physically? Because that I could go a little faster than this hand-holding stuff. But if you mean relationship-wise, you know, I'm going to need about a year of us being in the talking phase. So it really depends what you mean here. So they pop these balloons, and inside of them are like letters and keepsakes and pictures. Look at how long this letter is. I would give up on sentence 2 and then just fake it and hope that the other person was reading. This is like, I mean, I would need a nap in the middle of this thing. So Trista is here, our first ever Bachelorette. Disney really gave the do-re-mi to make this date a special branded content by Wicked coming out this fall. And now, of course, Jenn is gonna go into the sky like they usually do. Every date has involved some sort of flying away. I would be a little bit concerned with the bellowing of the balloon. I want a tight balloon. This one is really doesn't look so full. Like, I want the balloon fuller. And then they make out and happily ever after, maybe. So they have a date in a baseball stadium, and Jenn is back in a fuzzy shawl. That's right. The suitcase full of fuzzy shawls made it from New Zealand. This one is emerald green, sponsored by Wicked, coming out this fall. What's she going to do with all these fuzzy shawls? I mean, does she give them away? Does she have this many fuzzy shawl opportunities coming up after she's done with the show? I don't know. I don't think anyone does. So Jenn has a blanket and the fuzzy shawl. At this point, let's just wear sleeves and a jacket. If you need a blanket and the fuzzy shawl, we are now in the territory of too many throws. So this gets very serious. We find out that Marcus and his sister were like dropped off at daycare and his parents just disappeared. They were in the foster program. They would get adopted, then unadopted. The story is heartbreaking. If I'm back at the hotel, I want to know that Marcus's story is like very serious. Like, I don't want to go on the show and then be like, hey, Jenn, I have to tell you my heartbreaking tale of being a kind of overweight in high school. Like, I have to know that this story happened so that I don't bring up my woes of eating Snackwells and chips with Olean on them because I was a little overweight. So the group date is at a radio station, and Jenn is going to get love advice from Bender and Jubal. They have like an opposites attract radio show, I'm sure. I am sure that they argue from two different standpoints. I mean, Bender looking more hot Santa Claus, Jubal looking more scares the living crap out of me, and I don't know if I want love advice from Jubal, to tell you that. We might have very different opinions on where tattoos should go and who we should marry. But maybe I'm willing to find out. So Jason Mesnick and Molly actually did this same date, and now they're back. So this is a throwback. Look at Jason, who looks like, he's like, yeah, Disney paid me a lot of money to be here. I've been trying to get out of this game for 20 years, and they just keep bringing us back. We got college to pay for, so I'm just going to smile my way through this, and then Molly and I will fight in the car about that one chick I made out with before I made out with her. So let's get this going. They bring in the men, and they play this like word association game, and he says fantasy suite, and Sam says aggressive, and they're like, excuse me? Really? Look at Molly's like, Sam, I'm lost in your eyes. Did you say you get a little rough in the bedroom? I've been telling Jason this is what he needs to do. He's like, okay, relax, Sam M. Don't give her any ideas. Sam is having a hard time. They ask him how he feels about Jenn.
Just fire and like strong passion. So, yeah, to say that I've been doing nothing but falling in love.
This is like a short circuit. He's like, fire. The main thing, computing, Furious Love, brought to you by Wicked, coming out this fall. What? So Sam has a total meltdown, and then they go, okay, the rest of the men can leave. This guy who's unraveling, we're going to have him stick around and talk a little bit more. Listen to what he says.
Got out of the limo. I'm like, okay, this girl is not my type.
Oh my God. He's like, I'm going to keep the real thing, and you ain't my type. I usually like a big titty, a fat ass, but I thought, you know what? I'll stick around, get the free drinks, and then maybe we could have a furious love. These answers are just wild. He is breaking down. He's just saying words.
I know that I'm selfless.
He's like, selfless? I don't know the meaning of the word selfless.
I mean, you're either selfless or you're full of...
Yeah, he sounds like a kid who's at the spelling bee and is like searching for help. Can you say the word selfless in a sentence? Can you say it over and over again, like in a sentence, like, I'm going to keep the selflessness, like the main thing that I do? I mean, look at them reacting to Sam. They're like, go on. Look at even the guy who's probably on pills. Oh, he's falling asleep. He's like, wake me up when this guy stops doing diarrhea of the mouth. You know it's an epic meltdown when a man brings up love languages, because we only know our love language based off of what an ex told us our love language was.
Physical touch.
He's like, physical touch, so yeah, let's make out in front of these other people. They are just like, look at Santa Claus. He's like, I don't know if this is consensual. Look at Molly's like, I wish Jason would do that to me every now and again. So Jenn tries to get Sam to open up on the nighttime portion of the date.
It's a tough feeling.
Sam always feels like he is giving a book report on a book he didn't read. He's like, I believe that The Giver is about a furious love. Sam is really struggling here. She's like, can you just tell me how you feel? And he's like, I don't got a line from the notebook to regurgitate to you. Come on, the main thing is the main thing. Isn't that enough for you to hear? Luke Bryan lyric, Morgan Wallen lyric, Matthew McConaughey noise. Please, just believe me. Okay, now he goes back to the hits.
Talking about, ferocious love, talking about reckless love.
Ferocious and reckless. He's back in the pocket. He is so struggling. He's gonna try out other movie lines.
I'm a little confused still.
She's like, no, okay, I heard Furious. He's like, show me the money. You complete me. Can I do quotes from The Office? Will that help shut you up? So Jewish Jeremy gets the one-on-one date in Seattle at the public market. He's like, I've been here before. It was on my teen tour. Have you ever heard of a teen tour? I went on combo camp, musicer. So now they go to a palm reader, and no one has looked more like they trust the vibe of a crystal more than this woman. She's like, well, The crystal that is up my tuchus right now tells me that, Jeremy, your mom might take issue with the non-Jewishness of this woman. Am I correct? So then they go to this like gum wall. Jeremy tries to touch the gum wall. Now he's actually touching it. I can hear Jeremy's mom in Connecticut screaming, Jeremy, don't touch the wall. Do you know how many germs are on there? You're susceptible to get sick. You were always sick as a baby. So now they're doing the classic Seattle fish toss. If I'm Jeremy, this is the moment I'm bringing up how she eats a bagel and lox. I'm like, okay, Jen, would you eat a cinnamon bagel with butter on it? That's very not Jewish. That would disappoint me in a very spiritual way. Would you put lox with onion and tomato and scallion on an everything bagel? Would you toast that bagel? I need answers. Okay, Jeremy gets down to business.
Jokes like, oh, kind of married you, but like also both my.
I mean, there's nothing more Jewish guy than date one. How are we going to raise these kids?
I don't expect you to convert. I don't need you to convert.
I don't expect you to convert. I do expect to go to the high holidays and maybe go to the Passover Seder and send the kids to summer camp. But as long as you do that in the Buddhist religion, it could work. Jeremy is going to get a rose. We're going to meet. Oh, I can hear his mom screaming right now. Yeah, we're going to meet the mishpacha. She's like, "Ay, it's mishpacha." Okay. We're going to have to get a challah. We're going to have to get bagels. I'm going to have to put a whole thing together. She's coming over. So Jen decides that she needs answers from Sam, and she runs in on the guys. They all react like they were all like masturbating together. Like, what? No, nothing. No. That sock, it's for... I'm just changing my socks. Yeah, just one of the feet. Just one foot, changing 1 foot. Yep, that's what I do. I have 1 foot that sweats more than the other, so I had a sock in my hand to change that one sock. She finds Sam, and she's like, I need to know if you're taking this seriously. And he's like, just sitting here staring at myself in the mirror like any normal guy who isn't a narcissist. Just making sure that I've unbuttoned one too many buttons on my shirt to show how serious I am. So Jen sits down Sam, and he goes straight into lines from a Hallmark movie. It's crazy.
Trying to walk this fine line of being born.
Walk this fine line
Same breath.
of keeping the main thing the main thing
For me to see it.
is to get furious.
Love again.
To fall in love again. Look at, she's like literally looking at him like, was that from the Goonies? I swear that's what Chunk said to the rest of the team on the Goonies. Sam literally sounds like he's giving the most boring best man speech of all time.
Is selfless.
Love is selfless. Love is furious.
Understanding.
Love is understanding.
Is in front of you.
Love is keeping the main thing the main thing.
Whatever way that means.
Love is wearing a cock ring around your neck at all times, just in case you gotta have some sensual lovemaking in a closet. That is love. I honestly can't believe he is still talking. It is like a Sam robot has malfunctioned over and over again. He's like, computing. Keep the main thing the main thing. Computing. Love is furious. Computing. Furious love. Computing. Luke Bryan. Computing. Morgan Whalen. Matthew McConaughey. The Notebook. Finally, Jen gets up from this conversation. Sam sits there. He's like, I guess I'm not using the cock ring today. Gonna have to tuck it away for another furious love. Okay, enough, Jen. At this point, she's dragging this out. There's nothing he could say that would make her forget all this other crap that he's been saying. So let's just send him home. Maybe you guys like do some hand stuff in the broom closet so you get it out of your system. But it's over. He's what is he gonna say? The right thing now? So finally Jen says goodbye. Sam packs up his eggplant-colored suit. He keeps the real thing the main thing. He does look like he's about to tell the camera she's not even that hot anyways. Like, he does have that vibe that he would just turn and become the real villain that he's always been on a dime.
The energy that she brought was very dull.
See?
It's not my fault. Yeah.
He just told her he loved her, and then he's like, yeah, I guess I'll go home. She's kind of boring. Immediately just crushes her. I'm keeping the main thing the main thing. No boring days. Just gonna Sam it up. So we're here at the rose ceremony. I gotta say this about Jenn. She doesn't really have a type. This is a very, very different group of men. Like, high school drug dealer, guy whose dad has a yacht, guy who calls you baby girl, guy who is a trainer at Equinox, guy who talks a lot about his varsity football days, guy who says he has celiac so he can't have gluten, and he's not one of those gluten-free people who fakes it. It is actually a problem for him, and if he has it, he will have to spend the rest of the night in the bathroom, so please let him know that there's gluten in something if you're going to let him try it. This is a serious issue. The one thing they do have in common is none of them can find a tailor who knows how to hem a pant. So Grant and Spencer get sent home, and Spencer's taking this really hard. Jenn looks on from the I won't be having sex with you window. That is weird. When I break up with someone, I am running away. I do not want to be seen. Like, what if he turned around and was like, hey, yeah, do you need something? I'd be like, no, just looking at the clouds. It's a beautiful night. We're still broke. And then in an unprecedented move, Spencer calls his mom while crying to let her know the tough news. He's like, Mama,
What does this mean?
tell father I will be summering with you. Get the yacht ready. Lay out my silk PJs. I will be sleeping at home this weekend. And that's it for The Bachelorette. And that's it for me. I will be back next week. Share. Let a friend know about the show I'm doing here. I'll be back. Boom. Hometowns.